looking for from Woody today?
Just, he's excited. He's been waiting for this day for quite some time. So I think for Woody, we know he's a strike thrower. I think just kind of use his mix, get ahead of guys, and get out of it healthy. And so, again, we'll see. We'll know more once he gets out there. But I'm excited for him.
A lot of the reports are that he's throwing the ball as well as some of these people have seen him, even as good as he was in 2017.
Yeah.
Do you get that sentiment as well?
I do, and I think that with Woody it's a funky delivery regardless. But from the training staff to Woody himself, is his body is just working much better. His body's working independently. But it's still synced up and working together. So it's kind of hard to articulate. But the bottom line is that his body is in as good a place as he's ever been.
Do you have a thought about when Clayton will get into a Cactus League game?
So he's gonna,
well?
So Clayton's gonna face hitters today, and I would guess, gonna try to get him on that 5-day schedule as soon as possible. Whether it's the live today, and then you look out at 6 days from now and say that's when he starts, or he's got another live session. So I would assume he goes live today. He's at day 2, so after a couple days, and throw a pen, and then we'll see where it goes.
Walker's already thrown to hitters, so when do you anticipate him?
He'll be in a game before Clayton, and I don't know the particular day. I think Mark's got it already scheduled out, but I can find that out.
How's Jock feeling?
Well, he's got a new hairdo, so if that says anything, I think he's doing better. But he's not doing baseball activities yet. Again, we got ahead of it early. But what that means as far as when he gets into a game, I just don't know that answer right now.
Is he swinging today, or is he still not going to swing?
He's not swinging today.
Going back to Wood, given how last year went for him, do you have to be any more careful with him this spring than maybe in the past?
I don't think so. I think that with Alex, given his history of innings logged and understanding and appreciating that last year was abbreviated because of injury, but I think where he's at, as far as where his arm's at, I think he's a full go.
On the backfields, you've had Kike, Lux, and Muncy taking ground balls at second base. Is that who you see playing at that position, or do you see different things?
No, I think that, Muncy, Lux, Kike, Taylor, all those guys, I certainly can see all those guys. And obviously with Kike and Taylor moving around the diamond more, where I see Gavin more at second base, maybe taking some balls at short, and Muntz, again, like we talked about a couple days ago, second base primarily, some first base, and maybe a little bit of just not forgetting third base, but a little bit over there too. But as you can see, trying to get Beatty over there a little bit more at third base too.
I know the complexion of the roster has changed since December when you talked about possibly Lux getting some time on the grass. Is that not a thought anymore?
I think that right now where we're at with given the roster, I don't see that happening right now.
Do you see him as your primary second baseman then?
Well, we still got a long way to go to make that decision, but obviously what Gavin did last year and the upside and all that stuff, so he's certainly in that conversation.
Has he earned the right to be on the major league roster to start the year, or is he still have to earn that?
Well, I think that I still think he has to earn it, but I think both. I think that he's earned it and he has to continue earning it. And I think that a lot of people you can have that answer for a lot of players, but there's only so many roster spots. But you can say that about Matt Beatty. There's a lot of guys that have earned it and have to continue to earn it.
Dave, you guys have had an impact rookie pretty much every year. Rookies, another good crop this year, potentially May, Lux, etc. What is it about, from your vantage point, maybe the player development group that has these guys so ready to play as soon as they get up?
It's a long conversation, but I think that it is an environment that the organization has created to, whether it's routine, allowing guys to feel comfortable but challenging them. The development part is not only on the field, but it's what plays at the major league level, and then you get to the major league side and you get a culture where guys accept these young players and understand that we need them to help us. A front office that is open and willing to have young players fail at times. You get coaching staff and all these guys that just want guys to get better. So it's a combo. It's a collective, and it certainly, and we've shown that we do develop guys, and guys can make an impact early.
You've been a part of a lot of different organizations, a player, as a coach. How unique is that? What they have here?
It's as good as I've seen it. I think that the connection, the connecting of the dots from scouting to player development to the front office to the major league coach staff and to the players, those dots to stay connected continuously are tough, and to be consistent with that. But we do as good a job as I've ever seen.
You mentioned during the postseason last year about the data and how much you guys are fed the lower levels, so just overwhelmed them at the major league level. I mean, how much are they fed?
They're fed a lot, and I think that some people can argue too much, but I think that I talk a lot about having the best players in baseball, but also the smartest players, and so intelligence comes in a lot of different ways. Obviously, acumen, retention, focus, being able to handle information. So all these things that I think that we identify the right guys in our organization, and to their credit, they're good at kind of handling it.
Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but does the plan to have Cody play today in the second game?
Well, I talked about it, and I talked about Muncy, and just talking to those guys individually, they felt that the on one day, off one day is good. So
Sorry, what was the question?
just getting Cody in there, and Muncy was in that same bucket, but they just felt good yesterday, so to be off and then to play tomorrow. Mookie is going to take a couple of bats, and he'll be in there tomorrow. His family's in town.
Has something to prove to them?
Yeah, exactly.
Camelback Ranch today then?
Was he on there?
He's on, yeah.
Yeah, Kenley Istone, yeah.
Okay.
Kenley Istone, that's right.
Hey, Dave. With the offseason that we had, and it seems like the players are pretty amped up to get this season underway, how are you maintaining their energy levels this offseason? What's your plan or philosophy that you're passing along to your staff to make sure this team doesn't go too crazy in the beginning of the season?
I think we're really good about that. And you'll see guys eject early. We shorten days. I think the whole idea of spring training, where the game has evolved as far as adjusting over time, but spring training as far as length is kind of the same way it's been for decades. So how we adjust as far as on field is the idea of having these players want for more. And it always gets kind of cumbersome and long, but shortening their days, limiting their at-bats, workload, managing. And so as they get into the season, they feel like they haven't done enough. And I say that kind of preparing them, but when you start getting too much, then guys are over it. So they're excited, but we do a good job of kind of managing it. I don't know if I articulated that the right way, but I know what I'm doing. I didn't say it the right way, but
I'll edit it real quick.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Just edit, I know what
I know
I'm
what I'm
doing.
doing.
Yeah, right.
For every answer, I know what I'm doing.
That's right.
I know what I'm doing is on the record.
That's debatable, but that's my opinion.
Dave, with Max last year, he was saying that, I'm trying to make the team. We all knew he was going to make the team. Do you still see this kind of relentless pursuit with him, or do you see kind of this comfort level now where it's like, okay, I'm one of the dudes?
Yeah, with Max, it's not easy, and I say that it's not easy because he's a guy that you look out 2.5 years ago, whatever, he was at home with his father trying to figure out his swing and on the outside looking in, and now you fast forward and he's got a multi-year contract, he's taking care of his family, so the challenge for every player is to still keep that edge, and so to back up his year last year, whatever that is, and that's different for everyone, but with Max, I have no doubt that his commitment to process and keeping himself healthy and winning games is at the forefront, and that'll lead to performance. But yeah, I mean, he's still got to find that way to, you take care of the financial piece and establishing yourself as a really good major league player, but you still got to have that desire, that chip on your shoulder that got you to this point.
He spoke yesterday about some adjustments he made to get to the off-speed pitches a little better. I mean, have you seen like a different kind of swing with him in camp, or?
No, I wouldn't say the different type of swing. For me, it's too early. I still see Max doing what he's doing, but it's still hard for any hitter. You're looking at upper 90s, and then you're looking at guys with really good secondaries. So there's got to be a cat and mouse involved as far as hunting certain pitches, locations, which speaks to the intelligence where Max can kind of play the game. But as far as his swing mechanics, I really haven't seen much of a difference.
Second year in the league, so pitchers are obviously pitching to him, not second year in the league, but second year after the breakthrough. Could you see how well he kind of understood how guys were trying to attack him differently last year?
It's a crowd him, and then late they're going to kind of expand away down below. So he looks over the baseball really well, but they're going to do the same thing again, and just who doesn't blink. And so Max is really good about that.
Dave, guys like Max and Chris, who you guys picked up and really wanted to reinvent, do you see similar strains with the work that was done with them with some of the young guys? Is there an overall philosophy?
I think that you take guys like Max, Justin, even now Taylor, Beatty, where guys that we get have an openness. They have to have an openness. And I think that even Edwin Rios is a guy that we've had in the organization, but not necessarily reworking the swing, but there's got to be an openness to be from good to great. And I think that those guys, when you have that kind of openness, and you have a chance. And so to their credit, they've been open, understanding that there's more in there, and that's what it takes from the player. And the credit obviously goes to the player and the guy and the coaches as well.
Who do you credit for correctly identifying players who will be open to those changes?
That goes into analytics department, scouting in the analytics department, because now the scouting, as far as there's tools, there's ingredients, and the analytics side of things, where the ability to identify strike versus ball, the quality of contact potential, the right versus the left, all those things that are pieces that there's an opportunity.
Quick question about Mookie. You said we were talking about motivation early, how to maintain motivation for all the players. With Mookie, he's relatively new for you. Have you talked to anybody before meeting him, or about how to coach him, how to manage him, and how to get him level so that he's not trying too hard?
I talk to a lot of people, and Mookie is a person from every person I trust. He's a guy that I don't really need to worry about managing. So it's sometimes the best coaching is when you don't coach at all. So just kind of making him feel comfortable, making him realize that he has a voice, and if he feels compelled to voice it, he's a leader by example. There's already built-in respect, and go be him. And the great thing about our club is we have a lot of great players, so he understands that.
You know what you're doing.
That's my
Putting that all
opinion.
together.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.